You know, one guy pardons 1,400 people who've been in prison for 4 years, have had their lives ruined, have spent all their money on legal fees just because they were standing around the Capitol building one day. And then another guy pardons his whole family and says they haven't committed any crimes, but, you know, just in case, JIC, as we call it. What's up? This is Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, and I'm live. I'm live in Washington, D.C. We are at we're at the site of what was the most incredible presidential inauguration in history, a one-of-a-kind inauguration. You'll never see another inauguration like it. There'll never be another president like President Donald Trump. There'll never be somebody who went through what Donald Trump went through, and we know that because he signed like so many executive orders and so many executive actions yesterday to make sure that nobody ever has to go through anything like what President Donald Trump has had to go through to get to this point, which is to be elected the 47th president of the United States of America. And I have to tell you, man, yesterday was a wild day. It was a wild day. When the day began, I kind of had an inkling of what it was going to be like, but by the time it ended, I had no idea. If you told me the day was going to begin with Donald Trump taking the oath of office without a Bible, thanks John Roberts, and ending with him wielding a sword at the Commander-in-Chief Gala like he was, I don't know, a cross between Zorro and James Bond, I would have said, you know what, it's possible. But it's not something with Donald Trump, anything's really possible. The day was incredible. What we saw yesterday, I want you to understand, if you watched it live, if you were live for this event, this is a historic day that people will remember forever. The Trump presidency, in one day, Donald Trump wiped out everything that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did in 4 years. In one day, Donald Trump wiped out the memory of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., the only thing we remember Joe Biden for now is him pardoning his entire family on his way out the door, which is true, which he did. And Donald Trump mentioned it a couple of times. In fact, he said, look, I was giving my speech and they said, don't mention it. And I said, I should probably mention it. And they're like, you can mention it later. You're going to give like 5 other speeches tonight. So don't mention it in the first speech. Don't put it in your inauguration address, because that's the one that everyone, will be reading and studying over and over again. But I want you to look at this. This happened literally moments before. I mean, he must have done this in the limo. Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, to all to whom these presents shall come, greeting. Be it known that this day I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States, pursuant to my powers under Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Constitution, have granted unto James B. Biden, his brother, Sarah Jones Biden, his sister-in-law, Valerie Biden, John T. Owens, Francis W. Biden, everybody in his family gets an unconditional pardon. And now tell me, these are people that have been investigated by James Comer and his committee. These are people that we believe Joe Biden has been funneling money around. These are the people that have worked with the shell companies, the bank accounts, the red flags, over 200 of them, as Marjorie Taylor Greene has told us. These are all of the people that have been involved in what's been known as the Biden crime family, the syndicate. Joe Biden's the big guy, 10% for the big guy. And these are, I guess, all the little guys and gals who funnel the money all the way up. And that's exactly what Joe Biden was thinking on his way out the door. He's like, look, these people are going to get caught. They came close. Think about this. Because of the House of Representatives and because of James Comer and because of what has been happening with these investigations the last few years, they got so close to the truth with Joe Biden. They got so close to what was actually happening that he felt he needed to protect his family. Because now that the Democrats don't control anything, now that Joe Biden doesn't have control of the DOJ or the FBI or anything, and the courts, forget about it. The Supreme Court's not going to rule in his favor at all. Now that that's happening, he's thinking, man, I got to protect my fam. And the only way I can do it is by granting them all some kind of unconditional pardon. Oh, and also doing it as he was walking out, like literally walking out the door. The last thing he did as president of the United States. Again, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I would have been more shocked and surprised if he hadn't done it. But he did it. And, we all expect. Then he left, which was the good news. Thank God he's gone, man. Thank God that guy's out of here. And I don't know if I have, hold on, I'm going to pull up my Twitter. There's so much stuff, by the way. There is so much stuff going on that I'm just going to have to roll through my Twitter today because I was trying to, my X account. What I'm trying to do now is just make sure that my X account is up to snuff. So when I go live, wherever I am, whether I'm in DC, whether I'm at home, wherever I happen to be, I just want to be able to say, hey, look, here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. Here's how this thing went down. And I don't even know. Oh, here it is. Here's Joe Biden's final words as he was leaving town for good. Listen carefully. This is really important. This is the most Joe Biden words you could. If I were going to script Joe Biden's last words, his final words, I don't know that I could script them as well. I'm trying to. Why is the button not working? There it is. I don't know if I could script Joe Biden's words this well if I were writing his final soliloquy. Listen carefully.
Thank you. Can I go up this way?
That's it. Can I go off this way? Let me play it one more time.
Can I go up this way?
I mean, that's exactly how we're going to remember Joe Biden. I'm just going to remember Joe Biden as the guy who yells into the microphone, bumbles around, has no idea where he's going, shakes the hand of somebody who's not there, trips over a sandbag at the Air Force commencement. That's how you remember Joe Biden. So it's fitting that when he's leaving Washington, D.C. for the last time, it's super fitting that his final words would be, "Can I go off this way?" which is it's the most Joe Biden thing. It's the most Joe Biden thing ever. Now, a lot of other things happened yesterday, and we're going to get to all of those. We're going to get to Donald Trump signing the executive order. We're going to get to his speech. We're going to get to everything. But one thing that I did want to remind you of is that Donald Trump yesterday, he made a promise, and he kept it. And his promise was that he was going to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And on day one, he signed an executive order to do just that. So anytime during the broadcast today, if you would like to get your now official Gulf of America t-shirt, just go to markshop.com. Go to markshop.com and you can snag any and all of the t-shirts that you want. There's the Gulf of America in the navy blue, which is beautiful. There's the Gulf of America in gray. We've got all the dark tones. There's a teal and a purple. The army green is very popular. And of course, we also have the lighter tones as well. The women's shirts, the cuts. There's a V-neck. You can get it in the lovely heather gray or the blue or the pink or anything at all. And it's now the law of the land. Like, this is official. This is no longer, I'll be honest, this started as a novelty item. When I sat down and I said, you know what, I'm going to start these Gulf of America hoodies and t-shirts, and it's going to be amazing. It started kind of as a novelty because Donald Trump suggested he was going to do it, but now he's done it. Now it's accurate. And if you have a Gulf of Mexico thing and you're walking around with it, you're looked like an idiot now because it's 100% officially, the Gulf of America. And I know that too, because in Florida, guess what happened? Ron DeSantis issued an executive order, State of Florida, Office of the Governor, executive order number 2513, whereas an area of low pressure moving across the Gulf of America, interacting with Arctic air, will bring widespread impactful winter weather to North Florida beginning Tuesday. So in this weather advisory, because it is cold, apparently it's so cold everywhere that it's snowing. My kids are getting a snow day in Jacksonville, Florida, which is, I don't know how that works. But it's so cold everywhere that the state of Florida has issued an emergency weather proclamation, and the office of the governor referred to the Gulf of America as such. An area of low pressure moving across the Gulf of America. And this was all because Donald Trump, hey, promises made, promises kept. That's all I'm saying. Promises made, promises kept. Go to Mark K Shop if you would like to get your official Gulf of America I guess we should just get into the executive order, shouldn't we? Should we do that? Should we just draw? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Yesterday, this rally, before we get to the executive orders, because Donald Trump gave his speech. It was a very moving, it was a very heartfelt speech. A lot of folks on the left were decrying it. They were calling it antagonistic and angry, which is great. If it was antagonistic and angry to CNN, I think then there you go. Then mission accomplished. If it was antagonistic and angry to CNN, then whoever wrote that speech did a good job with it. Because it really got the point across. But Donald Trump did what Donald Trump does. He wasn't going, because a lot of times you want to, in Washington's inaugural address or in Lincoln's the inaugural address of John F. Kennedy. This is a speech, sure, that's going to be remembered and it's going to be studied. But Donald Trump knows that this is his moment. He's got 4 years. He's got one term. He's got so much to do. And he wants to let everybody know that it happens right now. And it begins with the undoing of something he called America's decline.
From this moment on, America's decline is over.
By the way, America's decline, incidentally, is Joe Biden. That's what he means. He means America's decline is over, aka Joe Biden's over. And Joe Biden's sitting right there. This is the thing. Joe Biden is sitting right there, and he is listening to Donald Trump dismantle his entire 4 years of his presidency, really his entire career. He's listening to Donald Trump say everything that you did basically was bad, and I'm going to undo it. Like that. And while he's listening to it, while Donald Trump is saying basically, and he didn't say, in so many words, I'm paraphrasing, while he was saying Joe Biden is horrible, while he's saying Joe Biden is horrible, Joe Biden's policies are horrible, Joe Biden has slowly destroyed America, and now I'm here to undo everything this guy did. Everything, piece by piece, the border, the economy, foreign policy, everything is bad. The woke ideology. Everything's horrible. We are going to undo it today. And when he did that and said that, people stood up and cheered and clapped and screamed and gave him a standing ovation. Imagine Joe Biden. Imagine you're sitting there and somebody is itemizing your life and saying it's horrible. And every time the guy says what you did was bad, thousands of people stand up and cheer. I mean, it's got to be, thank God Joe Biden's mentally checked out and incapacitated, because a normal person, I don't think, would ever be able to recover. For example, when Donald Trump talked about the border and the majority of the people in the Capitol Rotunda stood up and gave him a stand. That's something I mentioned earlier in my 47 Daily podcast, which, by the way, if you want the news right up front, all about Donald Trump, all about the White House, all about the stuff coming out of this administration, you should subscribe to the 47 Daily podcast as well, because what happens with the 47 Daily podcast is you wake up, it's right there. You can listen in your car, 20 minutes tops. It gets you the headlines, everything Donald Trump did, everything the administration did, straight from the White House to my mouth to your ears for the next 4 years. That is the promise of the 47 Daily podcast. So, so Donald Trump said all this stuff, sitting right there in front of Joe Biden, saying every bad thing this idiot did, I'm going to undo. And people get up and they cheer. And I have to imagine that if you're Joe Biden, you just can't get out of that place fast enough. You just can't get out of that place fast enough. Carrie Underwood, speaking of which, Carrie Underwood was invited to sing the not the national anthem, I'm sorry, America the Beautiful. And you remember we spoke about that, and Carrie Underwood, she got backlash from fans, and then she got support from other fans, and then people were comparing her to Taylor Swift, and then other people were saying, well, Taylor Swift is a commie and Carrie Underwood is a patriot, and then John Rich said Carrie Underwood's got bigger cojones than half the men in Nashville because there's so many dudes in Nashville that are too scared of their record label to come out and say, make America great again, vote for Donald Trump, and Carrie Underwood just showed them. You remember all that. That was a lot of fun. We talked a lot about that. Well, Carrie Underwood showed up in the Rotunda. She was there to sing America the Beautiful. And for whatever reason, I thought she was supposed to have like a choir behind her. And I thought at first, like, the choir maybe didn't show up in time. Maybe the choir wasn't there. They weren't ready. They got lost. I mean, the Capitol's a big building. I was there the other day. I got lost. I went to the wrong office. Also, that wasn't my fault because the congressperson I was meeting neglected to tell me that they switched offices, which we'll get to. We'll get to it at a later date. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Carrie Underwood comes out, and the vocal track or the backing track or whoever, it didn't start. And she's sitting there awkwardly for like a minute and a half. And of course, she's standing next to Joe Biden. And I don't know if you've ever stood next to Joe Biden. I haven't either. But I can only imagine, as a young, attractive woman with a lot of hair, you do not want to spend any more time than you need to standing next to Joe Biden, because he gets that look in his eye. You know, he starts leaning over, starts taking those deep breaths. And so Carrie Underwood is like, screw it. I'm just going to. Oh, she killed it, man. What, talking about a pro? That's a pro right there. Carrie Underwood is standing there. She knows. First of all, think about this, okay? I want you to really put this in perspective. This isn't just a technical difficulty, okay? This is, you're in the Capitol Rotunda. You're at the inauguration of President Donald Trump. You have President Biden there, President Obama, President Bush, President Clinton, Hillary's there. You've got dignitaries. You've got every senator, every congressperson. You've got the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. They're all there watching, waiting. They're waiting for you to start singing. Something goes on and you're like, forget it. And you belt that out a cappella. Also, keep in mind knowing that every TV station in every country, in every corner of the globe is focused on you right at that very moment. Respect for Carrie Underwood. That was amazing. That was a really incredible. It was really an incredible job that she did. And then they went to lunch. They drank a bunch of wine. There was like, my wife sent me the menu. She's like, look at this menu. That's a lot of wine. That's a boozy lunch. And I was like, well, it's the inauguration. And a lot of those people, a lot of those people are used to drinking at lunch. If there's not drinks, they're not showing up. So you know that you have to do that. But then Donald Trump did something which I have to tell you is just truly incredible. It's truly amazing. The weather outside was frightful. But the inauguration was so delightful. And I was out there early in the morning, and I'm going to be honest with you, I went out there early in the morning to talk to the crowds because Donald Trump said, I still want to do the parade, but I want to do the parade indoors. I still want to do the parade, but I think we should do the parade in a safe environment. So the Capital One Arena was transformed into it was like a little rally setup. And what happened was Donald Trump everybody was allowed to come in. Everybody was, not everybody, but as many people as they could fit in there. The only problem was it was early in the morning. These people had to get there early. In fact, let me see. I have a clip. I went down there to talk to these folks. Here they are. There we go. There you can see there's thousands and thousands of people standing outside, and it is bitterly cold. Okay. It is bitterly cold. I was there for just a few minutes. I think I got some more here.
You guys excited?
We're excited.
We're excited.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa! I love you too, buddy.
Oh, fans. They knew who I was. That's always nice.
Look at that. Yay. Woo! You guys excited?
But you can tell how warmly they're dressed. That guy's just trying to stay warm. Oh, that guy said a wordy dirt.
Is it cold?
Pasco County, Florida.
Where?
All the way from Florida.
Oh.
Pasco County.
Oh, me too.
Yay, look at that. Where are you guys from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Awesome. Who here voted for Trump? Yeah, okay, good. That's what I figured.
I'd rather be filled up.
Woo!
it.
You made it. How long were you in line?
6 hours.
6 hours. And you're getting in.
Yeah, it is.
Great state of South Carolina.
Woo! Palmetto State.
Pensacola Beach, Florida.
Look at that.
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Look, everyone's from everywhere. Texas. See, I knew it.
Yeah, I knew
This is
that.
my second time. I was inside last night.
Wow. Oh,
My
wow.
second time.
You're like the luckiest guy ever. USA. 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 USA.
By the way, we'll watch more of that later. Starting a USA chant at a Trump rally is the easiest thing to do. It's easy. If you want to be like, the cool guy at the Trump rally, just start chanting USA. It's so easy to do and it's so much fun. But there you can see they were freezing cold. I was there for maybe 25, maybe 30 minutes. And I got back to the hotel and I couldn't feel the tips of my fingers and my thumbs. And I was like, what happened? I had gloves on. I guess I needed the hot hands or the warmers or something else. I put them under the, it took me a minute to get the feeling back. But, and these people were out there for 6 hours. I couldn't believe it. Definitely dangerous temperatures. Definitely better that they moved it inside. But then they went to this rally and the rally was, I guess it was a parade, but it kind of turned into a rally. There were bands, there was music, there was hype, there were speakers. Kash Patel was there. Elon Musk came out, and Elon Musk, he did this thing. It's so funny. They're always going to look for controversy. Elon Musk did, I guess it was a Roman salute, but everyone started calling it the Hitler. They said he was doing like a Hitler thing. Hang on, let me just show you. This is here we go. If you missed this is the first controversy of Donald Trump's presidency. This happened just moments after Donald Trump became president of the United States again. Here it is. Yeah, and that's Elon Musk. And look, now immediately what happened was the media started saying, OMG, he's giving the Heil Hitler thing, but he's not. That's a Roman salute in celebration of America because, America is the new Roman Empire. And Donald Trump is Caesar Augustus or Caesar. Yeah, he's one of the Caesars. Julius, I don't know. He's one of them. And probably Julius, because he ended up with a bunch of knives in his back, and Donald Trump's already experienced a lot of that. So anyway, that's not. But that was and then of course the media took off, and they were like, "This is horrible. Elon Musk is praising Hitler at the Donald Trump victory rally. Donald Trump just became president. OMG!" And then it was so stupid, because there's literally the parents of hostages from Israel, Jewish parents of hostages, some who were killed, some who they still are still being kept in captivity, some who are just released. There's all kinds of people there from Israel in support of Israel who are thrilled that Donald Trump got the ceasefire and is getting the hostages released. And the media is just, look, they're going to lie, folks. They're going to lie for the next 4 years. They're not going to give in. It's not over. It's not over. The media is going to continue to be horrible. That's why you need to make sure you're listening to this podcast. You're subscribed to all of our content. You're subscribed to this YouTube channel. You want to make sure that you're getting the truth, and we will bring you the truth. So anyway, so that was that. And then, but the arena was filled, and Donald Trump eventually showed up, and he did something that he turned presidenting into a live performance. He turned presidenting. He turned leadership. He turned being the chief executive into a live spectator sport. And I've never seen anything like it in my life. Yes, Obama, people loved. He had the Coliseum. He was a speaker, and he would do when I say, well, when I go, and when you come, and then their election, and America, democracy. Like that was, Obama had like the thing. Bill Clinton had his breathy, well, I love the women, and I see them here, and God, I love him, and Monica, fine, whatever. George W. was just fun to laugh. It was just like fun to laugh. Still is. I still enjoy laughing at George W. But Donald Trump puts on a show, and he says, I'm going to sign executive orders. But instead of starting at the Oval Office, we're going to go on stage, and I'm going to give a speech. And then I want you to have a desk on the stage, and I'm going to sit at the desk, and I'm going to sign executive orders. And and I want a microphone, so that we can announce to the people, to the thousands and thousands of people in the arena. I would like them to know what I'm doing and what they're watching and the history that's being made. And people loved it. They were watching an old man sign papers, and you'd have thought they were at, I don't know, a Kid Rock concert. You'd have thought they were at some kind of, whatever the most popular act in the world is. It was like a UFC fight. That's how exciting it was. Here's some of what happened. This was the very first executive order Donald Trump signed live on stage. It was rescinding 78 Biden orders.
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir.
I mean, look at that. Do you hear the roar of the crowd? Do you hear that? He takes a big magic marker. He signs his name. He holds it up, and people are like, "Hey!" I mean, it was like the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight didn't have that much cheering. It was the most incredible thing. It was the Paris Climate Accord. The Paris Climate Accords. These people, I don't even know if these people know what the Paris Climate Accord is or the Paris Climate Conference or the treaty. But as soon as Donald Trump signed the executive order removing us from it, these people are like, yay!
Item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir.
Like JD in the background just smiling. People are cheering. People are yelling at him.
We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty.
And then that's it. And he holds it up. He's like, here you go. All right, you guys want some more? Who wants it? You guys want some more? All right, what's next?
The next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Come on. I mean, listen, I want you to understand what's happening here. First of all, I said this morning. I'll say it again. Clearly, nobody in that crowd is a federal worker. No federal workers at the arena last night. No federal workers made it to the Trump parade because Donald Trump signed that executive order demanding that federal workers return to work, and the place went bats. The place went crazy. It was wild. It was wild. And he wasn't even done, right? So Donald Trump, he's signed. Typically what happens is when you sign an executive order, when you sign a bill and make it a law, whatever, there's this series of pens. And when you sign and, the pen becomes commemorative. And sometimes what's really weird is sometimes when they sign these bills, like they'll sign a different letter of their name with a different pen. I mean, it's really weird. Like you can go back and see it probably on like YouTube, whatever. But if there's one big law or one big bill that's monumental, like Obamacare, he would take a pen and he would sign B, and then he'd take another pen and sign A, and another pen R, and then ASS. Oh wait, that's not in there. And then every pen became commemorative, and they would give it to some kind of foreign leader or dignitary or somebody who was involved in the process, and they would keep it as some kind of trophy or keepsake. Donald Trump, he's just got all these pens for these executive orders. He signs them all. He gets up, he walks to the stage, and what does he do? Yeah, like the rock star he is, he tosses them into the crowd. Like he's Eddie Van Halen throwing guitar picks at rowdy fans. He walks over and he's like, "You want a pen? Here you go." Yeah, there you go. There's a Donald Trump executive order pen. And these people, you'd have thought this was like Aaron Rodgers' last football. Like Aaron Rodgers throws his final touchdown to Devontae Adams, and he grabs the ball and he tosses it in the crowd. These people were thrilled. These are pens. It's signing. It's basically paperwork. What you think about it? Donald Trump had hundreds of thousands of people live in a rally and all over the world watching him do paperwork and cheering. I mean, come on. Are we just supposed to pretend that didn't happen? Are we just supposed to pretend that watching Donald Trump do paperwork isn't the most exciting thing that we've ever seen? Until, of course, later on when he took a sword to the cake at the inaugural ball with J.D. Vance. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a minute. I talked to some people. I had to go. So I'm watching this happen, right? Like I'm here. My hotel room is here. So my hotel is like here. Okay. And then if you go like this and take a right, the arena's right there. Like if I run, which I don't do, but if I ran, I could be there in probably a minute, but I didn't run. So I put on my stuff. I got my gear and I walked briskly to the arena, because I knew these people. When Donald Trump left, I was like, okay, I got maybe 10 minutes because they've got to clear all. Donald Trump and his family have to clear out first. They don't let anyone leave until Donald Trump's on his way to the White House. J.D. Vance, everyone, they got to go. And I said, but I want to be there when the crowd exits because I got to talk to I got to see what it was like. What on earth was it like? What was the arena like watching somebody do paperwork and hearing people screaming and yelling? And man, the crowds did not disappoint. Here's just a little bit. Yeah, I was out there for like an hour. Here's just a little bit of what these people said.
I'm here at the Capital One Arena downtown in Washington, D.C. The rally just ended. People are headed back to the Metro. They're everywhere. And everyone seems to be in a fantastic mood. We're going to talk to these folks. We're going to find out what the most exciting thing that they saw live at Donald Trump's victory parade, indoor victory parade was. How was it?
It was the most amazing Trump rally ever. It was like 10 hours of nonstop Trump action.
It was it was unique, it was colorful, and we love hearing him every time he speaks.
I like everything. I like the fact that he's the 47th president of the United States. God bless him.
What was your favorite part?
I couldn't tell you. I enjoyed the entire thing.
Oh, that's a good answer.
America's back, baby. America's back.
Did you guys like the parade?
It was awesome!
Oh, yay!
Best rally!
What was the best part?
Oh my gosh. Trump, of course.
Trump, of course.
And he's signing all of the, I love when he was signing everything.
Oh, that was the best part.
Oh, that was
Signing the executive orders, that was the best part of it.
That was the best part?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get a pen?
No, I wasn't that close. No.
Oh, sir, that's a great hat. Were you inside?
Yeah, Lincoln loaned it to me.
Lincoln. He's not going to need it back.
That's right.
How was it?
Long.
Long.
Wonderful.
It was, it was
but
great.
it
He
was
signed a
great.
bunch of orders.
Great,
We got
now
to
it's
see
painful.
him, the family.
Yeah.
Witkoff spoke beautifully.
Yeah.
Game on.
Go get warm.
Him coming in at the end and having that big party, all the bands were wonderful. It was a great crowd. Everybody was happy.
When they introduced Barron, I think a lot of people were excited.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited because he's going to be our future pres.
What was the most amazing part?
Him signing the executive orders in front of all of us.
It was. Have you ever seen anyone do that before?
No.
And did you catch a pen?
No.
Because he threw the pens like they were guitar
He did,
picks or
he
something.
did.
I wouldn't stand out in this for anybody but my Lord and Savior.
And also Donald Trump.
And
Apparently.
Donald, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
Nobody else in the world
Right,
would I
just
do
Jesus.
that. That's right.
What's more exciting, Donald Trump being the president or Kansas City going back to the AFC Championship?
Yes.
Go Commanders!
Yes.
This is my first time going to a rally, quote unquote, I guess, presidential victory rally or presidential parade. It's phenomenal.
It was awesome.
Oh, it was awesome. Yay, perfect. How about you, sir? Did you come for the parade?
I'm looking for the public works because I got my pocketbook.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good luck.
He spoke the truth.
He spoke
Donald Trump spoke the truth. He told them like it was and got rid of all the crooked Joe's policies.
Yeah, I saw it with like one.
Drill, baby, drill.
What was the best part of the parade, sir?
The best part of the parade,
Best
Trump.
part. Trump. Hands down.
It was all Trump.
It was all Trump. This is great.
Fantastic, man. It was great. It was a great rally. What you got for me?
What was the best part?
The executive orders.
Yeah.
He brought it to the people.
It was like fun. It was like a
Yes.
spectator sport.
No longer was the government behind closed doors and hidden from the people. Is in public, the way it should be.
It's like the great American comeback is here. The great American spiritual comeback is here. So I feel like the golden era has begun, and we're going to see it happen. And here's the cool thing. Trump, Elon, everyone else thanked everybody in the room because he said it was because of you. And Trump made an emphasis to say it's because of God that I'm still here. He spared my life to save this nation. So that's what I loved about it.
What was the best part?
The atmosphere. It was electric.
You love it. It was electric.
Executive order.
You like that? Everyone likes the signing of the. I'm telling you, it's like a spectator sport now. How was the parade? Was it good? Phenomenal.
Amazing.
What was your favorite part?
Everything.
Everything?
Seeing Trump.
Yeah.
It was great.
What was the best part?
Elon Musk. No, I'm kidding. Trump.
How was Elon? He came out and started screaming again.
Oh, he came up and started screaming, and everyone just had a good time. He got everyone pumped up before Trump came out.
And then how was Trump?
Trump was amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to make America great again.
I don't know if I can.
I can't. We can't. How was it inside, sir? Was it good?
It was great.
Yeah?
Fantastic.
What-
It was amazing.
What was the best part?
He signed right in front of everyone, the executive orders.
And that was amazing. You've never seen that
Never
before.
seen that before, but he did it in front of everybody. He just got straight to business.
Oh, that's so
It was
great. I'm
It was
glad you
amazing.
enjoyed it.
Definitely. Thank you.
Watch out, this guy's. They're driving everywhere. All the dignitaries going to their balls. Yeah.
I used to watch your show.
Oh, dude.
I'm the one who asked you.
We're celebrating, but he
Sorry, it was a rough. I didn't get a chance to finish editing, so you got some of the you got a couple people ran up to me and they're like, "Mark Kaye." I was like, "Yeah." "Oh my God, hi. Can I get a selfie?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." But it was frigidly. You can tell it was cold. You could hear me sniffling there. But those people, the excitement was like that. And I have to tell you something, because the last time Donald Trump was inaugurated, I was here, and I should have pulled the video. I always say this. I should have pulled the video. But here's what happened. Last time I was here, the inauguration was a much different atmosphere. The people that you saw were here, but for each person that was here to support Donald Trump, each person that was here to see Donald Trump, each person that was happy that Donald Trump was the president, there were probably two who were not, who were vocally and actively distressed, who were protesting, who were angry, who were despondent, who were furious, who were out to just do no good. As I walked around after the inauguration yesterday, because this was after the inauguration, I saw massive protests, groups with angry visages of Donald Trump dressed as a baby, puppets where Donald Trump was the devil. There were protesters up and down the street. They were screaming, they were chanting, they had bullhorns out, they had whistles. There was a burning car. I saw a limousine lit on fire in front of my own eyes. I saw two people dressed like Antifa smash the window of a Starbucks, which I thought was odd because Starbucks is that's like Seattle, Antifa, and it's all like, I thought they were all the same organization. They smashed a window of a Starbucks and the window shattered right in front of us. I saw all of that. People were throwing trash cans. It was the end of the world. It was wild. None of that this time around. I looked. I love the protesters. That's my favorite part. My favorite part is to go out and get protest videos. My wife's always like, "Don't do that. You're somebody's father. You need to take care of yourself. It's gonna be crazy." It's not crazy at all. There were only two kinds of people out yesterday: people that were coming from the Trump rally and were thrilled about the new golden age, or people that were going to balls and have already been experiencing their own new golden age. So it was really, really fantastic. Not only that, though, but Donald Trump, and here's the exciting thing. After Donald Trump left the arena, after he left his live signing of executive orders, he wasn't done. He's like, okay, now I'm going to go to the Oval Office and I'm going to sign like a ton more. And he did. He signed, there were so many executive orders. I don't know how many total. Let me go back to my ex here for just a minute, because they did the libs of TikTok did a fantastic job itemizing every single executive order that there was. And I don't know. Oh, look, there's Inception. I don't know who. Let me see if I think I have it here. Yeah, here we go. Here's Donald Trump and just signing order after order. You can see this is him. This is him with his desk. This is the Resolute desk. Donald Trump's back. He's got the phones. He's got the flags. He's got his staff. And you can see Susie Wiles there sitting in the corner. And the media is there. Photographers, Peter Ducey sticking his head out in the background, reporters, cameramen, the boom operators, mics everywhere. This is a guy who is not hiding from the media. This is not Joe Biden. This is Donald Trump. Donald Trump basically yesterday turned the Oval Office into the press room. And I really think, I'm going to be honest with you, Donald Trump, he'll probably do a press conference later today. In fact, at 4:00, he's going to do an announcement. At 4:00 today, there's a big announcement about infrastructure. I may or may not take it live. I haven't decided yet. But there's a big announcement about infrastructure. Donald Trump's first big announcement. And I imagine his announcement about infrastructure will probably turn into a multi-hour press conference, because this happened last time. You may remember Donald Trump's first press conference immediately after becoming president was when Jim Acosta got in his face and Donald Trump started pointing, "You are fake news, you are fake news, you are fake news." And two things happened that day. Number one, the media realized Donald Trump's not your average president. And number two, Jim Acosta became world famous. And really, he owes Donald Trump for his entire career, which could be coming to an end, I hear. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. But Donald Trump is like, look, come on in, media. I'm going to sign a bunch more orders. And that's exactly what he did. He continued the work because he wasn't done. And the first thing he did, I think, is probably one of the things that riled up the left and the media the most. And that was his promise to pardon the January 6th protesters.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon.
What idiot has full pardon or commutation? He's not going to commute. It's a pardon. It's a pardon. Commuting a sentence, by the way, just so you know, commuting a sentence means you're guilty, but you don't have to, your sentence is, but you don't have to go to jail anymore. A pardon is you're not in jail, you're not guilty, you never committed a crime, come on out, you're free. That's why Joe Biden pardoned his entire family and didn't just commute any future sentences that they might have. That's why Joe Biden preemptively pardoned Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and which, by the way, think about this. The entire January 6th committee got a preemptive pardon from Joe Biden. The entire committee. I mean, think about that. How much illegal activity had to have been going on in that committee room? How much illegal activity had to have been going on behind the closed doors at the Capitol building? How much just corruption lives in that? Liz Cheney, daughter of Dick, Adam Kinzinger, crybaby galore, all the Democrats, everybody who sat on that committee. And we know that they extrapolated information from people that was not true. We know that they promoted testimony that turned out to be inaccurate. We know that they flat out lied in an effort to try to frame Donald Trump and keep him from coming back to the White House, as Adam Schiff did before them, as Jerry Nadler did before them, as Jack Smith, as all of these people over and over again have tried to do unsuccessfully. They tried to lie. They tried to frame Donald Trump. They tried to keep him out of the Oval Office, and it did not work. And now, just like the Democrats typically do, they need to figure out a way to CYA. And the best way to do that is with presidential pardons. You'll notice something interesting, that while Joe Biden, let me pull this up for just a minute, while Joe Biden pardoned his entire family. And while Joe Biden pardoned Dr. Fauci and General Milley and the entire January 6th committee and Liz Cheney and everyone else, you'll notice James, Sarah, Valerie, John, Francis, he already pardoned Hunter. So that was clear. He already got Hunter out of the way. He did not pardon himself. He didn't pardon himself. And I don't know if that was a legitimate, premeditated action or lack of action so that he wouldn't seem guilty, or is it that he just believes that Donald Trump won't go after him? I don't know what it is. Or maybe I think he's so egomaniacal that he thinks he's safe. I think he thinks there's no way Donald Trump's going to go after me. Even though he spent the last 4 years going after Donald Trump, there's just something that tells me in my gut that Joe Biden is just that dumb. Anyway, so it wasn't just the January 6th protesters. He also signed that executive order about cartels that he promised everyone, saying cartels are now terrorist organizations.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign, and Mexico probably doesn't want that, but we have to do what's right. They're killing our people. They're killing 250, 300,000 American people a year.
And the interesting thing, and I said this again, I said it earlier today in the 47 Daily, and sometimes the news is just all about Donald Trump, so there is a little bit of overlap, but people don't realize how important it is to designate a cartel as a terrorist organization. Because if it's not a terrorist organization, then guess what? We can't go in there and blow them off the face of the earth. If it's not a terrorist organization, we can't really freeze their bank accounts or seize their assets. We don't have international laws and things that we can use to our benefit. If they're not a terrorist organization, then it limits the ability that the American government or the United States government has to go after them and stop them before they cross into our soil. We've got the DEA, we've got the FBI, we've got Border Patrol. But now that they're a terrorist organization, that brings up all kinds of fantastic means of battling the cartels, both militarily and economically, and from a global standpoint. So that really is an important. It's not just symbolic. That's very important. And then he created Doge.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as Doge.
Okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented. We have a problem in this country. You sign an executive order, it doesn't get done for 6 months.
And that is the Department of Government Efficiency office. People thought, and that was another lie that the media was telling you. They're like, oh, Elon Musk is going to get an office inside the White House. No, Doge is going to get an office inside the White House, and he'll swing by every now and then. But Donald Trump is hiring a staff to implement these suggestions of the Doge and to make sure, as he pointed out, that the orders he signs get done. Because how often have we seen, not just at the top layers of government or the top parts of government, but everywhere in the government, there's so much inefficiency. And that's one of the reasons we need Doge, is that an order is made, a declaration is put forth, a plan is put in place, and all of a sudden, nobody does anything for 6 months or ever. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to avoid. So he started the Doge with that executive order. There were a couple of other things that were kind of funny. Not funny, but really interesting to watch. And this is the comparison between Donald Trump and any other president. It's just amazing. He was asked about, I believe it was Peter Doocy who asked him about the drones. And Donald Trump, in the middle of a live press conference, leans over and looks at Susie Wiles and says, you know what? We should look into that. Do me a favor, Susie, look into that.
I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of...
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay? Yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy, or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it? They had drones flying over my golf course. That's really, well, they were flying over everywhere. But he's like, look, Susie, we got to find out about this. We got to tell the people. So so Peter Doocy says, what about the drones? He promised to tell us about the drones. Donald Trump says to his chief of staff, look into that. We got to find out about these drones. And she's like, all right. And that's how government works with Donald Trump. The people want something, Donald Trump gets it done. The people want something, Donald Trump says, I agree, you should have that. And he shops it out to his chief of staff, who is then going to delegate it to the right authority, and they're going to get him the answer, and they're going to do it quickly. Because that's how Donald Trump's entire life has worked. Every corporation has worked that way. Every agency he's ever run, or every real estate project has worked that way. His TV shows, he says, here's an idea, go do it. They do it quickly. They come back to him with the information. That's how Donald Trump's whole life has been, and that's why he's back in the Oval Office today. The libs of TikTok, as I pointed out earlier, they did a really great job. Let me just pull it up here quickly. They did a really great job of itemizing every single executive order that Donald Trump signed. An executive order to withdraw from the Paris Climate Treaty, an executive order directing all federal employees to return to full-time in-person work, an executive order to end the weaponization of government against political opponents, an executive order to address the cost of living that skyrocketed under the Biden-Harris administration, an executive order freezing federal hiring. Trump signed an executive order rescinding 78 Biden-era executive actions, an executive order pardoning 1,500 J6 defendants, an executive order designating cartels as foreign terrorists to secure the southern border, restoring a merit-based hiring system, which is important. That's an important one. No more DEI. No more, hey, listen, Ketanji Brown Jackson, I don't know who I'm going to put in the Supreme Court, but it's going to be a black woman. That was Joe Biden. That was his exact quote. An executive order granting TikTok an extension to sell to an American buyer. I forgot about that one. Think about that. This is amazing. This is Donald Trump realizing the importance of communication and business. Because again, people scoff. When I was 40 years old and I was on Snapchat, I would tell people, you can scoff, but one day, this is how you're going to get your information. This is how you're going to buy and sell stuff. This is going to be the most important thing your most important communication device in your life. And now look at this. 10 years later, Donald Trump had to sign an executive order to reinstate TikTok, and he did that on his first day. Trump signs an executive order creating the Department of Government Efficiency, an executive order declaring a national emergency for the border, an executive order to hold former government officials accountable for unlawful disclosure of sensitive information. That is one of the things that Donald Trump was most proud of. It was, do you remember all the spies and the spooks and all of the intelligence officials who lied and said Hunter Biden's laptop is misinformation? Hunter Biden's laptop was not misinformation. It was information. It just happened to be bad information for Joe Biden in his presidential campaign in 2020. So they had all these intelligence officials say, it's Russian misinformation. I pledge my reputation on it. I'll sign the letter. All 51 of those people, as of today, have lost their top secret clearance because they cannot be trusted. Trump signs executive order to protect American women from the dangers of radical gender ideology, to withdraw from the World Health Organization, ending catch and release, restoring remain in Mexico. Trump repeals the rule allowing transgender troops to serve in our military. President Trump signed an executive order revoking the security clearance of the 51 former intelligence officials who lied about the Hunter Biden laptop, which I just mentioned. Trump signed an executive order calling for the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Again, one of my favorites. Incidentally, if you're online and I see a bunch of orders coming in, and thank you very much, you're going to love this stuff. If you're purchasing anything from the Mark Kaye shop ever, whether it's a Gulf of America hoodie or a Gulf of America t-shirt or one of the other fantastic, we have all kinds of great Gulf of America stuff. We have a Gulf of America 40-ounce tumbler. We have Gulfy, the official Gulf of America mascot, a cute little plush bear for the kids or for you. We won't tell if you just want one for yourself. Use code TrumpWorld. It's right there on the top of the website. Use code TrumpWorld and you get 15% off. And like I said, I see a bunch of orders coming through. I want to make sure everyone's getting the savings that they design, because this is the new golden age. This is a new golden age. You're all going to start saving money, and it starts immediately when you go to Mark Kaye shop. Oh, look, Jonathan Y. in Titusville just purchased a Gulf of America hoodie. Jonathan, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Anyway, back to this. Trump signed an executive order calling for the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Trump signed an executive order suspending U.S. foreign assistance for 90 days, pending reviews, including to UNRWA, which is very important. Let's see. What else did we do? Is that it? I guess that's it for now. There's more. There's probably just a lot more that, hold on. Let me scroll down here. Yeah. Cause there is more, I think. That was just day one. Think about that. That was day one. And it's going to be like that for the next 4 years. Today, there's a big announcement about infrastructure. I'm sure it's going to include the border wall, I imagine. Marco Rubio has been confirmed by the Senate. They confirmed him yesterday to be the Secretary of State. The other confirmations will be coming through I'm quite certain that they'll be coming through pretty quickly. And that was, like I said, an exciting first day, but it wasn't even over then, because then Donald Trump did what presidents do. He went to multiple inaugural balls. This is a guy who was up since probably 4 a.m. He had to go, and we went to church. He went to tea with the Bidens. He went and got inaugurated. He went to a lunch. He gave 2-3 speeches. He went to a rally. He then went back to work. He signed executive orders for a few hours. Then he had to get dressed up in a tuxedo, and then he went to the commander-in-chief ball, where he did the ceremonial first dance with First Lady Melania Trump. And I have to tell you, you want to talk about the new golden age. This was amazing. Look at him dance. That's James Bond and his Bond girl. License to Kill. And it's incredible. Look at that. And I have to tell you, I'm very excited for Melania because she was so disrespected the first time around. She was so disrespected by the media. She wasn't put on any of the magazine covers that typically would feature first ladies, Vogue and Vanity Fair and everything. And nobody wanted Melania, which I don't know why. She's a professional model. Like, of all the first ladies, I mean, again, beauty's in the eye of the beholder for sure. But of all the first ladies, I mean, Melania knows what she's doing when it comes to taking pictures for a cover shoot. And they disrespected her beautiful Christmas decorations. They disrespected her as a mother. They called her horrible names. They talked about her being a mail order bride, all these terrible things. She was disrespected. She left the White House early. She, for 4 years, I think, did not want to come back. They rifled through her underwear drawer, for crying out loud, looking for top secret documents that they knew weren't there. And now she's back. And now the most amazing thing about it is that Melania Trump, I think, is finally getting the respect that she deserves. I think she's going to be I think this time around, it's going to be a much different story for the entire Trump family. And everybody is sick and tired of the wokeness. They're sick and tired of the DEI. They're sick and tired of the ridiculousness that Joe Biden and the Democrats forced on us for 4 years. And so now we have a president and a first lady and a cabinet, and we have a first family, Barron Trump, who doesn't love Barron Trump? Gets announced at the Trump rally yesterday at the parade, and people screamed like for 3 minutes. All he did, he stood there, he was like waving. He did the little, I hear you guys. I mean, that guy's a star. There are going to be Trumps in American politics for the rest of our lives. And I'm all for it. You know, we had a bunch of Kennedys. Now I think we're going to get a bunch of Trumps. And that is something that I'm really excited about. Then Donald Trump had to cut the cake. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they cut the cake with swords at the Commander-in-Chief ball. And he was thrilled. Donald Trump was so excited to have this sword. There was him dancing around. I don't know if I think they were playing music behind it. I think it was YMCA, so I don't think it'll clear copyright. And I've already had enough kerfuffles with YouTube copyright people this week. But let me just see if I can show the video of it real quick. Yeah, here it is. So here's the video of it. Donald Trump. No, music. Let me mute it. Donald Trump is dancing with a sword. The cake is this phenomenal cake with all of the military emblems on it. And then they've got the new Air Force One prototype on top, and Donald Trump has this sword, and he's just dancing around. He's doing the YMCA dance with it. He's holding. I want him to have a sword all the time. I think Donald Trump should now just carry around a sword. When he goes into meetings, when he goes to meet with Congress, when he goes to meet with dictators, next time he meets with Putin or Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Zelensky, the dude should just have a sword with him at all times, because I think it just adds that extra little thing. Put him in a tuxedo, give him a sword, send him out into the world, and let him show everyone who's boss. But it was really, again, you're never going to see anything like this again in your life. You're never going to see a president who is signing executive orders live from a stage and then throwing pens out to the crowd. You're never going to see anyone swing a sword around when he's supposed to be slicing cake. Oh, let me play you this because this was exciting. This was Marco Rubio, who, by the way, I have to tell you, this is exciting. First of all, we'll listen to Marco Rubio getting sworn in by the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
So, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Marco Rubio.
I, Marco Rubio.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
The duties of the office of which I'm about to enter.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary.
There he is. And I don't know whose idea it was to put him in front of the blinds. I would have rather him been in front of the flag, but whatever. And Marco Rubio, this is really interesting because Marco Rubio, I told you what a nice guy he was. Marco Rubio was unanimously confirmed. Marco Rubio was unanimously confirmed 99-0. 99-0. And you might be asking yourself, who wasn't there? The answer is Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio, as no longer a senator, he had to resign, so he couldn't vote for himself. 99-0 was the vote. And I want you to remember this. This is important, not just because Marco Rubio is a great guy. Yeah, Marco Rubio is a great guy, and he'd wanted Tammy Duckworth to have her kid on the floor, and he helped Tim Kaine with a bill once about South America or something. Marco Rubio, everybody loves this guy. This is the first. This is important because Donald Trump, when he started choosing his cabinet, everybody said this is the most divisive cabinet ever. These are unqualified people. These are loyalists. These are people who aren't going to be fighting for the United States of America. They're going to be fighting for Donald Trump. They're not going to do the will of the people. They're going to be doing the will of Donald Trump. These are not professional politicians. These are not serious leaders. These are not people who can handle such important and dignified duties like Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense and Secretary of Health and Human Services. He's putting together his own Marvel Avengers. These are cartoon characters. These aren't leaders. And the very first confirmation passed 99-0 unanimously. Donald Trump is serious. Donald Trump is hiring serious people. They may not be swamp creatures. They may not be people that have the bureaucrats that have been there forever and a day. They may not be people who are just looking for, the next rung in their career, their political careers. These are serious people that want to do serious things. They see Donald Trump's agenda. They love it. They live it, and they want to be part of it. And Donald Trump trusts them to execute it. And they're not all going to get through 99-0, but that's a really great start. That is a really, really fantastic start. And if you think that's a good start, just wait till you see the finish, because the next 4 years are going to be equally, if not more, incredible as Donald Trump continues to make America great again. Listen, if you don't yet subscribe to this channel, if you don't yet follow or get our notifications, please make sure that you do. Couple things we're going to do. I may go live later on today. We got a bunch of super chats yesterday, which I really appreciate. And more and more because here's the thing, there's going to be more opportunity for us, but with more opportunity, there's more expense. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. And so what we're going to do more of is we are going to focus on super chats and Rumble rants and any support you can give. If you can become a member of the channel, if you want to buy something, and again, when you purchase the Gulf of America gear, or any of the other stuff that we have. We've still got the Donald Trump portrait collection from the official Donald Trump portrait. This all is stuff that allows me to do this every single day. It allows me to travel to Washington, D.C. so that you can see firsthand what's going on and see firsthand how people are reacting. It allows me to, in the middle of the day, say, hey, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you all the news. I'm going to tell you what you want to know, what you need to know. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you who's lying to you. And we're going to do it in a fun and entertaining and inspirational way with your support. Because again, I'm independent. Yes, we have some sponsors. We've got Colonial Metal. We've got a couple of others who are signing up. But the best way to support us is by picking up something from the shop, or if you want to drop a Rumble rant or a super chat, we would love that too. And starting, probably later in the week, I may do a couple of other later broadcasts, especially when Donald Trump is doing these special events. So I'll plan to come back at 4:00 for the infrastructure announcement. That might be something worthwhile. And if you can come by and swing by and watch, and if you want to drop some super chat action, we would love it because it keeps us going. It's a way for us to continue to do what we're doing here and even grow and do even more. That's the thing. We can do more videos and more information and more podcasts and more travel and more trips and more, stuff for you. So I'm really excited about the future. I'm really excited about the future now that Donald Trump's back in the Oval Office. I'm excited for your future. I'm excited for my future. I'm excited for our future. I'm excited for America's future because trust me, this is truly going to be the new golden age. And I've been touting this forever. I have my own group of entrepreneurs. You know about that. I go around, I teach people about this kind of stuff. I'm invited all over to talk about social media. I'm always invited to talk about, business principles. I published books myself. I've come up with merchandise myself. We've started all that stuff. I've never seen a better opportunity for anybody to make every single one of their dreams come true. Like, I get choked up thinking about it. Everybody who's struggled, maybe your dream isn't even to be like the biggest or the best or the richest or the most powerful, whatever. Maybe your dream is just to have enough. That dream has been almost impossible the last 4 years. The dream to just have enough to get by, to put gas in the car, pay the mortgage, to send your kids to college. That dream for so many people has just been, so many people find themselves in my position where they're out of work. And maybe they don't have the ability to work for themselves or start their own podcast or live stream just because of what Joe Biden did, the malpractice, the economic and political malpractice that Joe Biden was guilty of for the last 4 years, and Kamala and the rest of them, all of them, they're all guilty of it. And if we should have a class action suit, and we should sue Joe Biden and Kamala and the rest of his administration for governmental malpractice, because the economy, inflation, the danger they put us all in, the gas prices, the food prices, price of housing, the price to borrow money, it's ridiculous how difficult they've made it. I truly believe that all ends. I believe it ended yesterday, and I believe that together we are all going to be able to make our dreams come true. And if your dream is to live in a mansion in West Palm Beach next to Mar-a-Lago with a 40-foot yacht parked outside and a Rolls Royce or a Bentley in the driveway, or maybe just want, a farm, maybe want 60 acres outside of Nashville and a Ford Raptor and a couple ATVs to take the kids out on, spend your day fishing, or maybe your goal is just to go to work, come home, and not have to worry about anything and spend time with your family and love life and never think, man, eggs are so gosh darn expensive. How is it that eggs are $12 a dozen? That's $1 per egg. What kind of chickens are these? Are these golden chickens? That may be your dream, whatever it is. Right now, you have the opportunity to make that happen. And throughout the year, I'm going to try my best to help you do that as well. But we're going to be here every single day. Oh, we got a super chat. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Tracy. Wow, a $10 super chat. Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate that. I'm going to put you up here because this is my official super chat. There we go. Look at that. It's my official super chat screen. Tracy, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I truly believe, and I'm going to help every single day. I'm going to come here. I'm going to give you the information you want. I'm going to help inspire you and keep you informed. And I know that everybody's waking up today feeling better. I know everybody's waking up breathing a sigh of relief. I know everybody woke up today and they thought, OMG, Donald Trump is my president. Pen throwing, sword wielding Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. And he and his staff and JD Vance and the people he hires and you and me, we are going to do what we've promised to do for the next 4 years. We are going to continue to fight, 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 and save the Republic. This was great. Listen, I'm going back home tomorrow, Wednesday, but we should have a show, and then we'll be back live in Jacksonville, Florida, at Mar-a-Lago. I'm headed back to Mar-a-Lago, Patriot HQ, and we'll be there live for Thursday. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm doing my best. I'm gonna plan on doing the. I'm planning on my best on doing the live at 4:00 on all of our streaming channels for Donald Trump's big announcement, because I think that'll be exciting. Tracy, thank you again. Thanks everybody. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.